Hey, Free Beer and Hot Wings VIPs. The radio show's on vacation this week, and in the past, we've put up some episodes of the Steve and Kyle podcast in place of it. So this week is no different. Hopefully you don't hate us too much.
Yeah, if you're tuning in for the first time, thank you very much. We appreciate you even attempting this. We're 100 and some odd episodes in, and if this is not the first time you've listened, let us break it down for you right now. No, we haven't gotten much better. Yes, we still talk about the dumbest stuff you can imagine.
If you want to subscribe to the podcast, you can do it in iTunes, Apple Podcasts app, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, all that stuff. Find us on Twitter at Steve and Kyle or Facebook.com/Steve and Kyle. Hopefully you enjoy it and you listen to all the episodes this week.
Thanks for listening and enjoy. Who invented the toothpick?
Well, it was back in 1898. Ralph Tooth met Doug Pick, and they said, "We need something to make."
Which is how all great ideas start.
Yeah, we need something to make. The next morning, I'm at work, and I get an email from my neighbor saying, "Here's the quote," and I was like, "That's weird. We didn't exchange email addresses." Whatever.
I'm winning.
So
I'm so winning this week.
So then yesterday...
You can see my face. I'm so happy.
So here I am, back in the hotel room with this fender that's covered in mud and grass. So I put it in the shower in the hotel room.
You need to move to a farm. You're such a redneck.
It was pretty rednecky.
I mean, you're showering fenders.
Boy, in hindsight.
Listening back to that, if I am a fellow Minnesota hotel patron, or no, you're in Green Bay.
Wisconsin,
Green Bay.
yeah.
Sorry, Green Bay.
Way off, man.
And I see a man walking down the hallway with what I'm guessing was just your regular backpack, carrying a fender.
Yeah.
I'm calling the cops.
The cops?
The cops or the FBI, whichever one's going to handle this no doubt terrorist business that's happening down the hallway.
Well, you had the shoe bomber.
Yeah.
The fender bomber, obviously.
Times are innovating in the terrorist world, and people are using Facebook Marketplace to buy car parts and utilize those. For weapons.
That can be disguised as weapons, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that, like I said, in hindsight, sure seems a bit rednecky of me. And,
Very.
But I'm all right. I'm all right with that.
Yeah, and the next step you need is one of those, bubble pools. But you put it in, just carve out one random spot and then never mow the lawn around it.
Yeah.
And you use it once every 2 years, and your water has to be green.
Okay.
Because I get the use of them, but people who use them and actually, keep them up, that's one thing. Mm-hmm. But to really finish this image of yours, you need Crocs, cut-off jean shorts. And
jorts. Yeah, jorts are a necessity.
Because you obviously aren't going to pony up for a pool skimmer.
No.
You're going to use a tennis racket.
Well, either that or the colander from the kitchen. I mean... That would be the obvious choice. It's dual purpose.
Yeah,
or the thing that you used to put powdered sugar on cookies, the little mesh, metal mesh net thing.
That's the way you finish this house into full garbage house.
Yeah,
that would be just
now the pool, obviously in the front yard, right?
Oh yeah, and then
next to the what's left of the Jeep.
Yeah, and then when you move it. You never plant seed there again.
I think I actually have some Jeep parts.
Do you?
In full view of neighbors right now.
Okay, so then...
Sitting on the side of the house, I have a Jeep bumper.
The least surprising update, not of just this episode, Steve, but of all time for this podcast, is you having some junk in full visibility of your neighbors.
Yeah. Now, it is just one piece...
well, that makes it all the better.
Well, it would be like if you left, a baseball bat outside.
Sure.
Or a lawnmower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure, man. Hey, whatever helps you sleep.
So I think we have to talk about what happened when we walked into APS 3.0 about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
The
Boy, how oblivious.
the surprise that happened for both of us.
Yeah.
We walked down the steps into the basement, made a 180-degree turn down the hallway. Down here, opened up the door to APS 3.0. Actually, no, the door was open, but we both walk in. Mm-hmm. You sit in your seat. I sit in my seat like we've done every week in this studio since, October? Late September, early October, somewhere around there. Sitting here just BSing back and forth, coming up with a bit of a game plan for the podcast. And out of the corner of my eye, I see something. I look over, and I said, "Is that poop?" Which is not something that I would normally say.
I've planned
within my house.
We've had a pre-podcast discussion about 102 times, and I can safely say you have never once said the words when planning this podcast. Is that poop?
So that was that was a little surprising. I look over there and kind of walked over and inspected it. Oh yeah. It was poop, because it's not out of the question for there to be things on the floor like the cat. Yeah. Cat has these little toys, like a little mouse or whatever.
Yeah.
About the size of said poop.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess when I see things like that kind of out of the corner of my eye, I just always assume like, oh, it's a cat toy, dog toy, something like that. But no, this so it kind of makes me wonder how many times I've seen things, assumed that it was a cat toy or a dog toy, and it was actually poop. Because this dog, other than one time like a month ago when she was home for a long period of time, like an unexpected, I forget what happened, but for some reason she was home for a long period of time by herself, wasn't let out. So we came down into the basement, and in the room right next door, which is where the furnace is, she had an accident in there. Kind of understood it.
Yeah.
But this one is kind of curious. We were only gone for, 4 hours or so, which is, she's home by herself for easily 5 to 6 hours every day.
I wonder, now you've been living with Annette for, what's it been, 2.5, 2 years?
2.5 years, probably.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
Do you think...
You think this is Annette?
She's been...
Is that what you're saying?
You're asking me if I think your bride is defecating on the floor in random spots in the house? You might be onto something, sir. What if Annette has been blindly walking around the house and picking up dog poop about once a week because you, like we did here, just walk through a doorway, sit down, and neither of us saw it. We must have avoided it by centimeters.
And because it was in, it was
the walkway.
Now, maybe not so much your path, because you come in the door and immediately cut left.
Yeah.
But I come in and I kind of take a wide arc to get to my chair.
You must have narrowly avoided it.
Can you imagine if I had actually stepped in it?
And what a way to start.
The fun we would have had. I would have said, start recording now.
Yeah.
Stop, don't say anything. Hit record right now, because this episode needs to start with me with poop on my foot.
We wouldn't have needed the pre-show plan, because for about 90 to 100 minutes, we would have talked about Steve having dog poop on his foot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is how all of the best podcasts start.
Yeah, exactly. So that was, now I don't know. I'm trying to figure out exactly why this would have happened. Oh. Sure. It's a dog. She has an accident from time to time. But, of course, she was back at the vet last week for more medical issues.
Poor
This dog has
man.
aged 10 years in the last 1 calendar year. Now, I don't know if I ever talked about it on the podcast, but a couple of months ago, I know for a fact I talked about how she tore her ACL.
Correct.
Had to have surgery back in March. And so she was in rough shape for a while. Mm-hmm. Not like, she was perfectly fine, but she just looked so pathetic. They shaved half of her, like the back half of her body to do the surgery. And she was limping around for the longest time, had staples, had the cone of shame, everything. So she looked pathetic. But she's come out of it really well.
Yeah.
Took her to the vet maybe a month ago for her 12-week follow-up appointment. And he said, everything looks good. Everything looks good. She's healing well. You can now slowly reintroduce her to normal activity.
Yep.
Because for 3 months, whenever she went outside, whenever this dog had to go outside to go to the bathroom, which is 3-4 times a day, 5 times a day maybe, it had to be on a leash, fully supervised, go out, go to the bathroom, come back in, no running, no jumping.
So the entire spring,
yeah,
where the temperatures are getting nice, the snow is melting.
Yep.
Poor Lola.
Yeah, all she wants to do is go out and sniff.
Try to find the animals, do whatever a dog will do. Is forced to be on a 6-foot leash to go to the bathroom and inside.
That was pathetic. Plus, it was difficult. I feel bad for Annette because her normal morning routine was she would get up, come downstairs, basically just hold the door open. The dog would run outside. She'd just sniff around and run around in the backyard for 15, 20 minutes. And then she'd eventually bark at the door when she wanted to come. Just one bark.
Yeah.
Annette would open the door, let her back in, feed her.
Nice and easy.
So it was... For Annette, she could, while the dog was outside, she starts getting ready for work, makes coffee, eats breakfast. But for that 3 months, it was spent standing outside with the dog, waiting for her to go to the bathroom.
Yep.
So right before she had that surgery, we noticed one night, we're like, man, she's acting really weird. She was just laying down. She wouldn't get up. When she did walk, it was she had that look to her like if you get home and your dog is kind of doing that thing where they got their head lowered and they look like they're all scrunched up and they're walking like they don't want you to see them because chances are they did something wrong. Sure. Maybe they chewed up something, they chewed on a shoe or had an accident in the living room or whatever. Well, she was doing that and we're like, what the heck's wrong with her? Then for some reason I went to pick her up or pet her or something, and she yelped. We're like, oh man, something's wrong with her. Took her to the vet. Turned out she had a bulging disc in her back, in her, in her spine. So,
oh man,
oh crap. All right. So they put her on anti-inflammatories. They tell us don't let her walk up and down steps for a week. Carry her up and down the steps. Take her outside, but only on a leash. So that's what we did. And then, the first time that she got out, it was when the town drunk Rusty was here painting.
Oh, right.
I was helping him bring some stuff in from his car, some of his supplies, and Lola just snuck out. She weaseled her way out into the front yard. She didn't run or anything, but that was the first time she had been outside off the leash in a week. So she's outside sniffing around on the front lawn, and so we get all of Rusty's stuff in the house, and I say, Lola, come here. Well, she takes off running towards the front door.
Boy.
And as she jumps up the steps to go in the front door, she lets out this and runs down the hallway, hides under the table, and that's when she actually tore the ACL. So last week we start noticing, and she's doing that weird thing again where she doesn't she was walking like she was a ghost. Just normally she runs down the hallway and you hear tip, tap, tip, tap, tip, tap. Her nails hitting the floor. Well, you couldn't even hear her when she was walking. That's how softly she was walking.
Oh man, that's a bad sign.
Yeah, so after we noticed it Tuesday night, so we're like, all right, well, let's give it all day Wednesday. Maybe she'll kind of snap out of it.
Sure.
Didn't happen. So Annette wakes up Thursday morning after I had left for work, and she's like, it's bad. It's really bad. It's bad enough where I left work, drove back here, and we took her straight into the vet. But luckily, he looked at her and he's like, nope, it's the same thing. Bulging disc. Give her anti-inflammatories for 10 to 14 days. So we give her anti-inflammatories. After a day, she's kind of back to her normal self. But I'm assuming, because they said don't let her outside without a leash again or keep her well supervised. So I'm assuming that the reason she had this accident here is because she hasn't been outside as much as she normally has. Because now it's she goes outside, goes to the bathroom, right back in.
Man.
But who knows why there was the mystery poop,
so could this just
pile.
Keep happening with her and her back now?
I don't know. but he gave us enough pills for like 3 times.
Okay.
So if it does,
You're aware now.
Yeah, at least we kind of know what to look for now, but still, it's like this dog up until a year ago was
perfect.
Was a puppy. She was a little puppy.
Right.
The only issue she had was she's either has hyper or hypothyroidism. I'm not sure which one it is.
Okay.
So she has to take this little tiny pill like twice a day. That's it. Yeah.
So pretty flawless.
Pretty flawless.
Up until about a year.
She had a good 7 years. And then her, this leading up to her turning 8 years old in September, she is completely falling apart.
Yeah, oh man. Hear me out here, Steve.
Yeah.
What if it's just her reasserting dominance? You were gone all day, now you went to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
I know for a fact Lola's been to the beach before.
She has. And she probably heard us talking. Like we weren't talking in code like, hey, you want to, tango?
Yeah. Do you think Lola heard you guys going to the beach, got excited, thought, all right, I'm going to the beach. Sees you two yahoos book it out of the garage with your towels, your bags,
your surfboards,
your snacks, your paddle boards, everything, the whole 9. And she went and laid down on the couch, and then halfway through decides, I'm not going to stand for this. I've been here longer than her. I get the beach. They get the poop.
Possibly.
Okay, because I am firmly in favor of Team Lola, like, fighting back here. That's what that is in my mind. I had an instance today that I wasn't going to mention, but now that we're talking about dogs reasserting dominance in the home, obviously.
Yeah.
Katie and I were, I forget, we were getting ready to go somewhere, and I start, like, play wrestling with her, and that always, anybody who has dogs, that always kind of riles the dogs up when they're playing.
Yeah, they don't really know what's going on. They're excited, but they're also kind of scared a little bit, so they're...
Now, this wiener dog of mine, Watson, he has been my best friend ever. Like, he is my partner attached at the hip, this guy. He's like 15 pounds, and I've said in this podcast, Steve, that if and when Katie ever leaves me, the only thing I'm taking
your wiener dog
is the wiener dog.
Yeah.
Because it's the only way I'll
Just Watson, right?
Just Watson.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the only way. Yeah, I mean, I'll do weekends. That's the only way.
Maybe a supervised visit.
Yeah, right.
Like once every other week.
Yeah, with an official. Yeah, make sure it's on the up and up.
Hey, you get a half hour at the dog park or something.
Yeah. That is the only way I'll ever have another female presence in my life, is using the handsome charm of a 15-pound dog known for being low to the ground.
That's all the dog is known for.
Yeah. I think they hunt, but this is a dog who... like if it's like wet on the deck and he steps outside, he'll put his paw down, lift it up, and like make you look at it and go, do you actually think I'm going outside in this? So today, Katie and I are play wrestling standing up. It's important to note. And I think I end up having my hands on her shoulders, and I start backing away, like running away towards the kitchen, and I feel a bite, and I go, what the heck? That never happens.
Now,
like, even defensively, he doesn't do that.
Where was the bite?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Because when I almost hit the ground, because my dog just bit me in the head of the junk.
Oh, Jesus. First of all,
first
of all, impressive because of due to the dog's short stature.
Right.
I have to say, though, I was hoping that you were going to say that you thought that you blew out your other leg.
Oh, God, no.
It was like
a
bite
fast
to the,
right in the
a
heel.
bite to the ankle.
So what happened was he somehow, like Predator, used his, no question, the 3 red lasers that he had mounted that I haven't seen, zoned in on my groin, and leapt from 4 inches off the ground to high enough to bite my junk, Steve.
Talk about asserting dominance.
I'm back to being the second man in the house, very possibly third.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're bottom of the heap. You are simply the man that feeds them from time to time and opens the big glass piece so they can go outside.
That's it. I am now the servant of a wiener dog. That's how I live out my days and hope he lets me go to the bathroom occasionally and live a normal life. I could not believe it. This dog has never done anything like that before, and I didn't get really mad at him because I know what he was doing. He was defending, he's defending Katie. But I think I reacted as such that he thought I might throw him into the fire pit.
Which you did?
Well, I mean, I didn't light it, but you gotta make him know
he was in there.
That's where you're going next time, buddy.
So he was in there next to 2 years worth of Christmas tree rubble, and that bush that we burned last year.
The stump of the bush that we tried to burn
has that. So the dirt has not burnt completely yet.
I'd say the dirt clod is smaller.
Okay,
it's much smaller. So I'm sitting here writhing in pain, just like you'll see out of cartoons and every sitcom. 2 hands over my groin area, knees buckled together, and hunched over.
And if you've never experienced pain before, ladies, I know that you have to deal with giving birth.
Whatever.
I can only imagine that this is about 12 times worse.
Yeah. I've heard enough about giving birth over the years that I feel like I could, no problem,
just knock it right out.
Get that thing done in a few hours. Right? That's mind over matter.
Yeah. I mean, it's simple. Let's take like 20 minutes. Come on.
But a wiener dog coming down with, I'm sure the comparison for jaw power is that of a crocodile.
Yeah, most likely.
Similar, I think that, long snout.
Yeah, I remember watching something on the Discovery Animal Dog Show.
Discovery Dog Show, yeah.
Yeah, about that, where they said, it's a killer whale, fiercely attacking things.
That was Dog Week.
That's how they described it.
Yeah, that was Dog Week. Stark contrast to Shark Week. And so I'm sitting there in noticeable pain while my wife is 5 feet away with tears streaming down her face, saying, I'm not laughing at you, or I'm not trying to laugh. It's not funny. I go, well, you're laughing and crying, so clearly you think this is funny.
Yeah.
I know where I stand now. Well, I mean,
she's that's terrible of her to do.
It knocks me down a peg. I'm definitely, like I said, second or third man in the house now going forward. Mm-hmm. I know where I rank.
Yeah. That's pretty mean of her. I mean, now have you thought that maybe she put the dog up to it? Like she's been training him when you're away?
So what you're telling me?
I mean, she did. Now, so hear me out here. You work a more traditional schedule where you're working Monday through Friday. You leave for work at what? 6 a.m., 7 a.m.?
6:30, yeah.
Okay. Your wife, on the other hand, she works, what's she work like? 3
on, 4 off, but they all day rotate.
3 on, 4 off. Long shifts.
Yeah.
But that does give her a bit more of an advantage with time home with the dogs to train them to be wiener biters. A wiener in the sense of it's a wiener dog.
Sure.
And that it bites.
Obviously. Yeah. So what we have discovered, we're only 23 minutes in. You're married to a serial ground pooper.
Yeah.
And I'm married to a wiener biter trainer.
Yeah.
I don't feel as safe anymore as I did 23 minutes ago.
You're going to be sleeping with one eye open.
Yeah. And you're going to be sleeping with one nostril open. Like, is there something you could find out about your significant other that would be as emotionally jarring?
Oh, man. No. I don't think so.
Because
I think I would rather her cheat on me.
You see these news articles and videos about local person keeps pooping on high school track.
Yeah, or like the serial, like the serial jogging pooper or whatever. Like the guy who he goes out for a run every morning and craps in the like IHOP parking lot.
Same spot.
Yeah.
Can you imagine sitting there at night? You've wound down a day of work. You and your significant other, you're watching the news, maybe sipping a mug of tea, and on comes that story that, we just talked about. Well, the serial poopers striked again, Janine.
Finally, a break in the case.
And up they post, like a sketch drawing. And in a million years, it could be nobody else other than your wife or your significant other.
Oh, God.
So you think it is... But I think I'd agree with you. I think I would agree that I would prefer my wife to cheat on me.
Yeah, I think cheating is more socially acceptable than pooping in public.
How do you go to the store after that when your face has been plastered on the news? You've got the movie ripped right from the movie where you walk past with your cart. Mothers grab their kids by the sides of their heads and bring them in close.
Yeah.
Husbands and wives doing double takes and whispering like, I think that's the one. The one who pooped at the bank in the bank depository.
She's wearing the same shirt that she's wearing in the video.
Speculation about family issues years past. Yeah, you're right. There's nothing comparable to being married or involved with a serial pooper.
Yeah, that's bad. That's real bad. You should be ashamed if that's you.
So anyway, my dog bit my junk. Steve's dog is reminding him who's boss. Related news, this podcast is going to cease to exist in weeks as we're pushed out of our chairs.
Yeah. It's by the way, the Stephen Kyle podcast. It's Sunday, July 1st, 2018, the year of our Lord, the Stephen Kyle podcast. Episode 100 and something.
Yeah. Boy, one thing we
chugging along.
We got to get to right away, because we barely mentioned it last week, and I don't want to run out of time again this week. It's almost the deadline, Steve.
It is.
By the time you're listening to this, and this is assuming you're listening to this early, which by our download numbers show most people do.
Mm-hmm.
July 5th, the last day to donate.
Final day.
To our GoFundMe.
What are we up
get
to?
Us on a... I have not checked. I sent you a text earlier today that we must address in the very immediate future if we want to have that number change at all. But at last check, I believe...
Oh!
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, is it... You have a total? Do you have
I got it
do you
right
have
now.
a drum roll?
Oh,
and,
wait a minute. Hold on. I got to find that drum roll that I used.
What's funny is I overheard you before the podcast, like going through, like, all right, I got the intro, I got this, always have this handy, and it's and here we are, still a drum roll in need.
Yeah, don't worry though. I always have it very closely here on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh boy, I'm so excited.
$400.
Hey, all right. In case you're wondering,
pretty exciting indeed.
That is exactly where we were at a week ago.
Was it? I thought we were at like 350.
400.
We did it. Oh yeah, our last donation was 8 days ago.
Okay.
Thank you, Kevin Noble, for that $12.
Now this is going out to a new audience here, Steve. This episode.
Oh, that's true.
So welcome anybody willing who listened through all of that nonsense to get here.
Oh, this will be easy to explain.
Here's oh my god, yeah, boy, 30.
Sorry to those who have been on board since the beginning.
Yeah, you gotta.
We're welcoming in a new audience now, though. Some people who may be listening thanks to the side gig, the Free Beer and Hot Wings show. We're hijacking their podcast feed for the week that the show's on vacation. So,
what do you think it needs? Now, I want to give you a timer.
Okay.
Do you think you need a minute? Can you explain this in 30 seconds?
I could easily explain it in 30 seconds.
30? Okay.
30 seconds.
Let me give you...
Okay, hold on. Let me mentally...
count the timer.
All right. Now... okay. I think I'm ready. You give me a countdown. You tell me when to start.
Okay. So this is to explain what we're trying to raise money for.
Yeah.
And we'll fill in any holes afterwards. 30 seconds starts in 3,
Okay.
2, 1.
The Steve and Kyle podcast is the nation's fastest growing podcast, but we're looking to expand by doing some viral marketing with the most up-to-date way possible. Roadside billboards. That's what everyone does for advertising. So we're trying to raise money so we can get an actual billboard in a small town in Ohio. We chose Ohio because we threw a dart at a map, and that's what state it pierced. So go to GoFundMe.com/put /get our podcast.
That is time.
I didn't even get the important part in
I
yet.
think, well, we're just looking to explain.
You know what I should have done? I should have spent the 30 seconds just saying GoFundMe.com/get our podcast on a billboard. GoFundMe.com/get our podcast on a billboard.
No.
GoFundMe.com/get our podcast on a billboard.
No,
GoFundMe.com/get our podcast on a billboard.
You're part of a radio show.
What?
Hang on. Hey, hang on. Maybe. So it's the Jerry Lewis Marathon. Hang on.
This one is 1 hour long.
Okay, well, we're going to wait it out. Can you fast forward to the end? Does it maybe hit at the end?
I don't know. I closed it.
$400. All right.
Boy, we have really done it.
So what Steve said there is a beautiful recap.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of holes to fill in. We're trying to become the world's biggest podcast, and we've decided the best way to do that is through the hottest new marketing trend, billboards.
Yeah.
Now, budgetary concerns and also the DART chose. The DART chose Ohio.
DART did choose.
Now everybody's saying, Ohio, Columbus, Cincinnati, Toledo.
Toledo, of course. That's America's greatest
entry point to Ohio.
That's what they call it. That's what the signs say.
You'd even think Sandusky, the entryway to Cedar Point, Steve.
Yep.
And we would tell you to stick it up there. Because what we're looking for is a town along the lines of something called a Vermilion. There were a bunch of small towns.
What about a Champaign?
Isn't that Illinois?
Yeah, sure is. Champaign, Ohio.
Hang on. I should not have so discounted you. There might be a Champaign, Ohio. Let me go. Champaign County, Ohio.
Boom! That's exactly what I was talking about.
County seat is Urbana.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Population 40,000. You know what I call that?
That's a bustling metropolis.
40,000 new listeners.
I actually call that too big for this podcast. We want something smaller.
But that's the county.
I'm thinking like, I want a town where you drive in and it says population and it says like 464, but you can tell that like the last number is just temporarily placed up there because someone is going to move out soon, so they're going to have to replace it.
They have to update it every time a Bert or Ethel dies. So we want to get this billboard up, and for the very few people who have seen it, in my mind, it's 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. So this thing's going to be barely railroad road height, right off the ground.
Yeah, we're talking like when the company comes out to put this billboard up, they don't need ladders.
No.
It's just hey, you hold this side, I'll hold this side, and we'll just kind of put some contact cement on the back of it and slap it up there.
So GoFundMe.com/get our podcast on a billboard is the site to go to. They have all of the details. The time frame, we would like to have a billboard high in the sky, as high as our heads. Sometime in the fall, Steve, I think is what we were searching for. Late summer, fall. I have no idea how these things work. So that's why we are going through this process together. When this deadline passes, now as of now, the deadline is Wednesday, July 5th. That get your donations in there. Before then, we'll turn it off that night or whatever we feel like it, honestly. Is that Wednesday, July 5th? July 4th?
Thursday is the 5th.
Thursday. Did we say the 5th or the 4th?
I thought we said the 5th.
Okay, so Thursday, July 5th. Been saying it wrong the whole time. We'll shut off donations. And then in earnest, I would think next week or in the next 2 weeks, we will start calling billboard companies to see what we can get and where we can get it for the price we have raised.
Yeah.
Now, currently that number is $400. I would expect a whole heck of a lot for what we have already raised.
Yeah, I mean, at $400, I think we should be able to get what do you think? We get a month out of that? That's a good...
I think we negotiate whatever we can get. I think we do duration most important, size second most important, size and location.
Okay.
So if we get,
So what if we get like a 4x6 billboard?
Right. Now, what if we get laughed out of the room with 400? Like we call...
I guess we refund everyone's money?
Or we start the haggling. You're in the billboard sales industry.
All right,
you
so
have
basically,
to haggle, right?
we have, 3 more days. Like, realistically, what do you think we'll get up to?
$400.
$400. Are you willing to throw in $200, and I'll throw in $200 to match it, giving us a grand total of $800?
Hey, very possible. Maybe. Yeah. I think that would be a conversation for after we talk to the billboard salesman to see what we can get for $400.
Because if we can get a good one, I think we just have to call them and say, hey, what's your cheapest billboard in Ohio?
Now, what you're going to hear is 2 stone-cold professionals in me and Steve calling what can only be described as a sucker, a billboard salesman in rural Ohio. And we're going to make that guy fawn over us. He's going to be giving us a billboard at the end. Mm-hmm. We're going to be doing him a favor.
Yeah.
But I legitimately...
we're going to walk out of that office, because obviously it'll be... we're going to drive there to negotiate in person.
That's the only way to do it.
That's how real businessmen negotiate.
Briefcases that are empty.
Yeah. And we're going to walk out of there, and he's going to say, what did I just do? What happened? I just got raked over the coals by those 2 savvy businessmen in suits from the big city.
He looks outside, sees you and I high five, put our briefcases in the back seat
of our convertible, obviously.
Of our convertible car.
Because that's what salesmen drive.
And we squeal out of that idiot's parking lot, and we head home. Now, the end game for this is that we drive down there, Steve. We drive to wherever this billboard is and take some pictures in front of it.
Yeah.
Maybe whoever else is interested. The idea is to have a little meetup. Any listeners who want to come hang out at our billboard, go to the local pub where maybe the billboard's in the pub parking lot.
Oh, maybe it's just one of those ones that's on the side of a building.
Yeah, right? Like that's it. And they just roll paint it on or whatever.
Yep.
And first round of drinks are on us if you donated money. If you didn't donate money, Steve...
you're drinking pond scum.
That's right. You are entitled to a glass of hot pond scum.
Yeah. Green, thick, chunky, in a cup.
So we've got 18 donations now, which is 18 more than I thought would be willing to part with their money. Mm-hmm. GoFundMe.com/get our podcast on a billboard. Now, the design is to be determined. That is also a process that we have to talk about, and if it's just going to be a logo with some words, we would like to include some catchphrases in there that make no sense, and I believe we're pretty set on the idea that somewhere on there is the Steve and Kyle podcast, and then insert the town's name, favorite podcast.
No, hometown podcast.
Hometown podcast of whatever town that is. So that's the end game. This is a big adventure.
It is. It's huge.
This is how we crack the iTunes whatever. New and noteworthy.
Yeah, I think that this is what's finally going to get us that viral press we've been so desperately hoping for the last 2 years since the beginning of this podcast. By the way, if you are new to this podcast, we've been doing this for 2 years, believe it or not.
If you can
made it,
oh my God.
We've made it 2 whole years. There are over 100 episodes of this posted. If you go to iTunes, just type in the Steve and Kyle podcast. Yeah. Really, any podcast app that you use, you'll be able to find us in there. So if you want to subscribe, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, SteveandKyle.com. That'll redirect you right to where you could do it as well if that's easier. But please do if you're enjoying it, or just simply, there's a level though, because whenever we release this with your side gig, the majority of those hate us.
Yeah.
Or hate me. Or hate you.
Yeah.
It's
or both.
Yeah, so it's a combination of that three. Either they hate you, they hate me, or they hate both of us. Mm-hmm. And then there's usually, I wouldn't even call it a percent, a very small number who we'll hear from later that say, boy, that was force-fed to me, but I didn't hate it, and so now I listen. We had, I don't know if it was, I want to say it was Nicole. I think she got hooked via the radio show podcast feed, went back and listened to everything from the start. Now, if you do that, what you will notice is a great progression in talent. We've come a long way. We're running a charity box off for limbless dogs now. We're buying billboards. Mm-hmm. We're hawking cheese. There's a lot to unpack with this podcast, whereas 2 years ago, I mean, we were talking about Lee Harvey Oswald. Like, what a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, that's one of the funny threads from this podcast is that Kyle is a big fan of Lee Harvey Oswald. Big fan.
That is
big fan.
Not the proper way to frame this, and anybody who wants to do their due diligence can go back and listen. I feel like Lee Harvey Oswald may be getting a bad rap for a guy who just had a bad day at work. I don't think there's anything, did he do it? I mean, it sure seems like it. Yeah. But haven't you had a bad day at work and loaded up a rifle in news?
Stop right there. No.
in newspaper and gone to your library or your book boxing building and sat in the 6th floor? Now, who knows who's going to drive in front of you? Maybe he didn't even know.
Yeah. Maybe he was just shooting out the window, thinking, like
paint cans,
aiming at a can on a fence.
Yep.
Yeah. Except he wasn't.
Has anybody taken any stock footage, like from the Zapruder film, and looked to see if there were like a row of beer bottles behind Kennedy's car?
Boy, I don't. Yeah, that's a very valid question. I don't know if the Warren Commission dug that deep into it.
And all I'm saying is that I feel like he never got his due diligence.
Really?
His fair shake. I mean, the guy was shot 2 days later. I mean, let's...
Yeah. Yeah, he... well...
You know who that happens to? Book boxers.
Who was it? Oh, it was you that tweeted the picture.
Yeah.
Because you
Just
were watching...
one bad day at work.
You were watching 11/22/63.
Yeah, the Hulu series.
Because I... gave you our Hulu login.
Yeah,
I noticed that you made yourself right at home. You set up your own little profile.
Well, I was
going
to feel very weird going on to your guys.
Oh yeah,
and being like, I want to watch this, and then what shows up recommended is some weird horror movies forever.
It's weird because I'm assuming that you watched at least one episode of 11/22/63 on Annette's profile. No? Oh, because it's recommending that now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I figured you went on, searched it, watched the first one, and then said, I'll set up my own.
Never did. That's... Oh, boy. They're on to you. Zuckerberg. He's in Hulu now. So, yes, that is a long-running thread. There are shirts made that... well, we can give you a...
Nope. Nope.
We can describe it, but we're not going to post any pictures of us wearing them. I was just thinking, could we post a picture of the shirt?
Nope. No. I think that
our wonderful listener Nikki made for us.
I love that shirt.
The shirt's amazing.
I wear that shirt all the time, but I have to be very careful where I wear it and make sure that if I know that I'm going to be in an area that I shouldn't be wearing that shirt,
like Dallas,
yeah. That I cover up, put something on over top.
Like Massachusetts.
Yeah, Massachusetts. I could probably get over.
Yeah.
No, probably not.
Arlington Cemetery.
I don't think it would go over well there.
I am more in the camp than ever that he was at best, a patsy.
Now, this is all based off of you watching the TV show where they time travel.
No. But that I told you last week that kind of
because I'm not sure if you are aware, but that's not real. You're not watching you're not watching archival footage from CBS.
Bite your tongue. It was pretty accurate. Okay. Real nice sign of the times.
Well, you did point out the glaring...
so stupid.
the glaring plot point, which was very stupid.
Yeah, so this show is about a person who time travels back, but can only time travel back to 1960. And so they have to essentially wait there for 3 years for the assassination of JFK. And in that time...
Yeah, because they can only go back to a certain point.
Yeah,
for some
every
reason,
time.
like the doorway, the gateway to the past always returns you to the same exact point
Correct.
in time.
So all that James Franco's character has to do, the only thing, the entire time he's there, is plan and figure out if Oswald was by himself or was working with others when he shot Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
So the day comes, November 22nd, 1963, and who oversleeps? 3 years.
Yeah, he had 3 years.
And you oversleep in a car
Yeah.
the morning of, and you end up jogging to the depository as Kennedy's car is... No, I get it. It's all for dramatic impact.
Right.
But that is the biggest use of idiocy for a plot device I've ever... Because you can't just have it like he catches Oswald in the crowd and snaps his neck as he walks into the depository. That just wouldn't have the same impact.
Right. Yeah, there needs to be that suspense, that build-up.
But how dumb is it that this person whose entire existence for the last 3 years has been stopping this oversleeps and almost doesn't stop it?
Yeah, that's definitely a little disappointing.
But no, it rekindled the interest, which it does every so often.
It's a fascinating...
and it's still one of the craziest stories ever.
It is, yeah. I mean, at this point, everyone involved is gone.
Right.
So no one will really ever know exactly what happened.
Unless you find the rabbit hole in Gary Cooper's diner.
Yeah.
Chris Cooper's diner, sorry.
Yeah.
And travel back to 1960.
Where's that diner at?
Maine.
Maine.
Because everything's Stephen King.
Oh, yeah, it all
It's
starts
set
at...
in
Yeah,
Maine.
it's all in Maine. Man, I forgot about that. So, yeah, he had to get from Maine all the way down to Dallas.
Yeah. No, but yeah, total sidetrack there. But yes, Lee Harvey Oswald may have gotten a bad rap by mainstream fake news media.
Kyle's love for
Taking
Lee
notes.
Harvey Oswald. Yeah, just the show rundown, the show description.
Oh, good. So that'll be in the bullet points on iTunes and
Yes.
in all the podcast directories?
Yeah.
Perfect. That's just
That'll
the
be
way
a
I
good
like it.
keyword, though. I bet people that are out there like that, like
Oswald,
those, yeah,
JFK.
like the mystery podcasts.
Yeah, can you imagine they sit through 23 minutes of my dog biting my junk and your dog pooping on the floor to only hear a story of me talking about Oswald being a good book boxer?
Yeah.
Oh, we throw that on there. Throw that on the tags this week. We definitely need to get a few extra listens out of that. But no, the point remains. Thank you very much to anybody who's even willing to give this podcast a shot, especially after 100 episodes. And if you're tuning in this week, there's a couple others up there for you that will kind of give you the vibe for what we do here. Mm-hmm. I believe the year in review is already accessible.
Yeah, that was the
Depending on when we release this, we haven't really decided that.
last episode of 2017. We 2016 and 2017.
Yep.
We did the year in review where we just talked about the most fun times that we've had on this podcast.
Yeah.
Kind of I hesitate to call it a best of show. It's just kind of like the moments that made us laugh a little bit more than
the others,
than the lame other ones.
Yeah.
So you may find such uproarious laughter as
Yeah.
good one.
I give them credit, though. Anybody willing to try a podcast 100 and whatever episodes in, that's tough.
Yeah.
And I think our goal here is to make everything transition by literally nothing from last week ties in outside of this idiotic billboard idea and us just referencing Lee Harvey Oswald. This thing is so week to week. We've talked about me learning the piano.
Which you're
it's
still
in the pipeline.
Still
It's in the pipeline. It's happening.
How? But give me what since we met a week ago, what progress have you made towards learning the piano?
Well, we finished recording.
Because for those new on board, you heard our theme song play about 49 minutes ago at this point, and Kyle's convinced that he can he can learn how to play the piano solo from our theme song, which is by a man named Kevin MacLeod. It's called Malt Shop Bop, and it sounds like this.
Enders.
Right here. Boy, you got the hand movements down.
No, yeah. Listen.
So like I said, since 1 week ago, it was roughly 1 week ago we were sitting here recording. What have you done?
We got done recording?
Yeah. You went straight to the piano store.
We went upstairs, head to the door, had a chat with your bride.
Yeah.
And
very musical person.
Yes. And
played piano for many years.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
I guess I was never aware of that.
Yeah, she did when she was younger. She had to play. She took piano lessons for many years.
So the record stands that the only people to make a living off of the piano, Elton John and Billy Joel.
Billy Joel.
That's it.
Pretty much.
Because
Maybe a piano tuner.
Yeah, they make which, by the way, the prices we talked about for pianos, if I ever had to pay a man to do anything to it, after the price you have to pay for the piano to begin with.
Yeah, it should come with a man.
It should inside.
Like a little man.
Always tunes it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So as soon as you sit down and start playing, he's like, I don't know, that G chord on the F string sounds a little off.
Yeah.
Goes over there. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. Then you got to hit the bottom C.
The bottom of the lower C, I think. Yeah, I think
is that what it is?
Yeah.
So we went upstairs. Your wife chastised me. vocally rude to my chances.
Vocally rude.
Very rude to me about my chances to be able to do this. And we said, do you think we could maybe get a piano from your work at whatever discounted rate if we could, so I could practice?
And
now we're recording again.
And then we just time traveled, and now we're here.
Yeah, now we're here a week later. But I feel like we're making good headway. We've talked to your wife about renting a piano.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now we're here recording.
I even told you I would pay for the rental.
Yeah, so we just post it up inside my house, or do we do it here? Do we do it in a garage?
Not a garage.
Okay, so now I'm getting lectured from a piano guy. Okay.
Well, I mean, we're going to go keyboard.
Right. So, because again, I've said they're both idiot machines, and I'll stand by that.
So the keyboard would just be the electronic version.
Yeah,
so
the
it's
keyboard,
an electronic idiot machine.
Yeah, it's the electronic idiot machine, the kid brother of the big expensive idiot machine, the piano. And I feel like I can learn that solo, which is, what, a minute? Can we call it 45 seconds to a
45
minute?
seconds. Well, let me see.
It starts at like a minute 14, minute 15 to...
We just need the meat and potatoes of it. So we need,
Yeah.
Okay, so it starts at 1:13. I think it's even shorter. I think... Because really, that was it right there. And it just...
Yeah,
no, but it does. It breaks down here.
Yeah, that.
It's still new. Tell you what, 30 seconds.
Okay.
You match that note for note, and you have my respect.
So it's 30 seconds, and I said I could learn that. Again, I have not played the piano or keyboard ever in 6 hours.
Well,
and I have been
then
laughed out of the room.
But it was about a minute after that you quickly amended that to a half hour.
Yeah, sure, that's a lot of chest puffing, bravado right there. Because in what I said is I think I could learn sheet music in 30 minutes. Could probably do it in 20. And then I forget what the other 30 was. Oh, learning how to play?
Learning how to play.
Learning how to play. And that leaves me about 5 hours to master 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Now, again, to everybody who's new listening to this that's going to tweet or Facebook and say,
Yeah, tell them what they need to hear. Go ahead. Give them the business.
That you can't learn the piano in that time. My counterpoint to you, and I've said this before, I don't need to learn the piano. This is simple memorization because it's such a small portion of music, Steve. 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. If I leave myself 5 hours, if I just go straight 6 hours, and I hire Kevin MacLeod to send me a video of him playing that.
So you think that's all it'll take, is you just watching a video and going, oh, he's hitting that key, I'll hit that key.
Memorize it. 6 hours of memorizing, which is exactly what most everybody does during Spanish class or French class in high school. That's why Rosetta Stone's popular, because everybody learns languages like that by memorizing, and it never sticks. I don't need this to stick. I need to memorize 30 seconds of key mashing, play it on the local Jolly Box outside of the thrift shop.
The local Jolly Box.
And
I don't even know what that is.
Well, don't they have pianos everywhere? We talked about this.
Yeah, they call them pianos, not Jolly Boxes.
Well, outside the local Jolly Box, where they hawk pianos third hand that nobody wanted and they picked up and they regret it. I think in 6 hours I can memorize 30 seconds of piano. Anybody who doesn't think that is just a total buffoon.
You're drinking pond scum.
You're drinking pond scum is what you're doing.
All right. Well, again, the only thing standing between us and this whole thing working is 1 day of piano rental.
I don't know. I can't do it 6 hours straight.
Hell, I'll go to Best Buy, buy a keyboard, bring it back here, set it up, let you play it for 6 hours, and then return it.
I need it for a couple days. 6 hours isn't going to work. Now, don't try to trick me. That's what everybody say, when you're cramming for your finals in college and you get to that point where you're not even retaining anything.
Yeah.
6 hours is too long. I need 12 half-hour installments.
Okay, so you don't want to do it all at the same time.
Oh, God, no. 12 hours of that boring idiot machine, I'd pass out on the keys.
At what frequency are these half hours?
Maybe once a month.
So I can rent the thing for 1 year. So you're taking something that you claim you can learn in 6 hours, but spreading it out over 1 year.
Yeah. I mean, it's still 6 hours, right? Right?
Yeah, I guess.
So that is that. I'm telling you, I just need a keyboard, and I'm in business. I'm going to pull this off. We had, I'm trying to remember who tweeted it to us this week. Somebody tweeted the Team Kyle shirt.
I saw that.
There was a very, very few.
Oh, that's right, Team Kyle, and then the swoop, because it was in a typical baseball jersey style script. So it says it's very nice, like orange jersey, white sleeves, pinstripes, and it says Team Kyle in a very nice script, and then that little tail that comes down underneath it, just like we talked about, is a piano key pattern.
Now
Ryan James, very
Ryan
nice.
James, thank you very much for that. That's a gorgeous piece. Team Kyle's ready to malt shot bop to victory. That's what he said. Thank you, Ryan.
That was the web poll was basically can you learn it? And I think it was like 90% said no. Oh, look who's here!
It was in the 80s.
Serial pooper is back.
Oh, hey, Annette.
Jesus. For the record, my wife does not poop on the floor.
To your knowledge. To your knowledge, sir.
All right.
So very briefly, that is what this podcast has been up to. We didn't even get to the part where we're trying to hawk cheese now.
Yeah.
We got a cheese truck delivery last week or 2 weeks ago, so we always accept cheese gifts as well as other gifts. We now have we've had cheese from Washington, we've had cheese from Wisconsin, and we've had cheese from Vermont.
Yeah.
Because we stand by it. Everybody claims
the other 47 states. We need your official entry
to the cheddar cheese,
to the Cheese Mageddon
off
2018.
Cheese Mageddon off 2018. Nope, that sounds like a sexual act. That's right, folks. Don't go cheesing Mageddon off.
All right. So I want to go back to Twitter.
Yeah.
We have a couple of things that were sent to us via Twitter, and while it's not technically physical mail, it is viewer mail.
Hey folks, viewer mail time again. Oh, here's one from Sally, age 14. Dear Pig.
That's right. That's the official sign that it's time to discuss some viewer mail, Steve.
Something that somebody sent us. Last week, I put the call out to a man named Philip who listens to the side gig, and he's an artist. And from time to time, he will illustrate things that we talk about on the radio show. So I said, man, Philip really needs to listen to this podcast, too.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, Philip does listen to this podcast.
So this wasn't you reaching out extracurricular or somebody else reaching out?
No, I did not. Philip, somebody else may have. Somebody may have tweeted at him and say, hey, you got to listen to this. Because Philip, did you see what he tweeted at us?
I remember a picture, yes.
Oh, boy, it's so perfect, too. Oh, no, I just lost it. Where did it go? There we go. All right, I'm going to pull it up on the Jumbotron so you can see it. So, Philip, at some point, I must have said that I wanted a wanted poster.
Yeah.
Because one of the themes on this podcast has been where are James Brown's legs? Because we had read something that he was buried without his legs.
They cut his legs off. Not one, not a toe.
They cut them both off.
Not a foot. 2 legs.
So I said, Philip, you need to illustrate a picture of us, or a picture of a wanted, like an old-time cowboy wanted poster. So Philip did just that. It's wanted. And then a picture of 2 very rickety-looking legs. Wanted, James Brown's legs, seeking information that will lead to their safe return.
Listen, add it to the merch store.
Oh, that's beautiful.
This has to happen. If you don't know what you're talking about, we will try to repost that episode this week, where we discussed trying to find James Brown's legs.
Another thing that Philip was not done with just that. He then moved on to design our new podcast logo, in which I could not look more like Aaron Rodgers.
Or old.
Yeah, very old, too. You look younger. You kind of look like a baby with a cigarette.
With a huge hat.
Yeah, you do.
Big head.
You do have a huge hat on. But I love it. I absolutely love that logo. It's beautiful.
I do love it. There's a good chance that we just have to kick old Zach to the curb.
Yeah, Zach has really been slacking.
Zach's had an attitude problem the last few weeks.
Getting a bit too big for his britches.
Taking some shots at me on social media.
Tell you what, if he shows up in Ohio, you know what he's getting?
Tell me, Steve, what's he?
Cup of pond scum.
Hey, round of drinks for my pals, except for this jerk.
You got a pond? You got a pond and a ladle?
Hey, Zach, go cheese Mageddon off.
Now we're just forcing things together.
That's what you yell, when you tell them to go drink pond scum.
Yeah. So if you want to see these beautiful illustrations from Philip, thank you very much, Philip. He's on Twitter.
That's amazing.
It's Phil Apart. So it's PhilApart. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, at minimum, we have to figure out a way to get that James Brown idea to add to our ever-burgeoning merch store.
Yeah.
So whenever we launch that thing.
Literally, the only thing keeping us from doing that is doing that.
Yeah. I mean, you have a little experience with it with the side gig. In my defense, you said you would start looking into it.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I've been real busy.
Have you? Yeah.
It's
a vacation, right?
Busy
this week.
Well, yeah. This is the beginning of my vacation.
Oh, okay. I got you. So this week it's going to be all
busy all day yesterday.
Okay. So it's going to be all
doing
set up
Jeep
this week.
Stuff,
All set up this week. Then sounds like you're on vacation. Looking around the room aimlessly right now, Steve.
No. I was looking.
That's a great idea, though. We need to get that up and running. We've had offers to help. We literally just need designs for all of them that we've talked about over the year. We've done the hard work.
Yeah.
Our sidecast, History of the Mystery. We've got Ray Connection. We had Betsy deliver us a beautiful logo for that.
That's right. Yeah, that looks like the Love Connection logo.
We've got the Lucky Billy Bar. That logo's going on a shirt.
So that's just the shirt. That's all it's going to be, is just the Lucky Billy Bar.
I think so. And then maybe on the back, the Starburst. Now only 79 cents, comma.
That was yes, comma. Now only 79 cents, comma, for you, comma.
The working man.
The working man.
That's the Lucky Billy Bar shirt. A lot of shirts that we just need to iron out and get those up there. Zach has been a great help. Phil Apart has been a great help. Betsy helped us with the Ray Connection. If you're willing to make these stupid things we talk about,
yeah, and you're also willing to sign over all the rights to them,
rights.
Yeah, the copyright and everything to us.
Yeah,
that's the main thing, because you're not getting our money.
We're getting yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how business arrangements work. But yeah, those are on Twitter again. Phil Apart. Please check those out. The guy does fantastic work, including our logo, including the James Brown Wanted poster.
Hey, remember the words "deal of the century"?
Boy, do I, Steve. Now, obviously, you're referencing your Jeep project that you fixed up. So, because you wanted a 4-door Jeep. Because you said you've always wanted one. Mm-hmm. So you found, as part of a Jeep park group, you found a man in Mississippi, who had all of these parts you needed for way under cost of what you anticipated spending, plus some. So you bought these parts from this man.
Bought the whole lot of them.
Got the package calendar year later.
Actually, the first
package was on time?
The initial shipment was, it was pretty quick. I had had everything within a week.
Oh, good. Used these parts, ended up receiving a wrong seat belt, a blood-spattered airbag. I believe those were the only...
Two blood-spattered
airbags. Yeah. I believe those are the only two incorrect items. Or, I wouldn't say incorrect, but like you didn't notice or you weren't informed about the blood spatter, and the seat belt was literally, he just shipped you the wrong one.
Yeah, it was the wrong one. I needed a front one, he sent me a back one.
The hassle, headache it took you to get the proper seat belt, remedy the airbag situation on your own, quickly turned the deal of the century into a bad deal of the week.
Because the seatbelt that he was going to send me, he ended up sending me the correct one, but I think it was 5 weeks it took him to send it to me.
So you're telling me there's an update to this?
I had communication with that man today.
Oh, no. Oh, boy. I am excited. Please, fill me in. Tell me he's mad at you.
No.
Tell me you're doing another deal.
Possibly.
Oh, my God. You're
going back to the well.
You're like an idiot who's going to the scene of the crime.
Going back to the well.
You just committed a bank robbery. You went home. You changed your T-shirt. You went back to watch the police.
Went back and said, "What's going on?"
Clean the joint.
Yeah. I heard there was a bank robbery with like $100 bills hanging out of my pockets.
Yeah. Boy, what idiot would rob this one, huh?
I still have like the paint on my hand from where the ink packet exploded.
Yeah, you're wearing like one dark leather glove because you couldn't get the ink off of it.
Yeah. So, as you know, I'm back in the Jeep game again. Me and Cy Noel and Ryan Young from the softball team went halves on a Jeep Bastard.
Yep.
That thing got delivered on Friday.
Oh, it did?
It did.
Oh.
It was delivered on Friday, and gave it the old once-over, worked on it all day yesterday, and we were hoping that we wouldn't need to replace the front axle.
Sure.
Same thing we had to do to my Jeep.
Yeah.
Turns out we do. So that's kind of a bummer. Not so much a monetary setback, but more of a time setback, because I just can't find one. Can't find one locally, which is a real bummer. Of course, there's one in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. The guy wants $100 for it, which is like the perfect price.
Yeah.
But it's there. It weighs 200 pounds. It's not I could ship it, but it's kind of a pain. Most people aren't willing to ship something that big.
Expensive, hard to get there.
Yeah. So, for the last like 24 hours, all I've been doing is searching for this this axle. Can't find one anywhere. Posting on all these different boards, posting on Craigslist, posting on Facebook. So I decide, Let me see if I can reach out to my old buddy.
Oh, my God. Now, this is a man, again, who made you wait almost 1.5 months for the correct seat belt. Mm-hmm. And so you decide he's the best avenue.
So I go onto Facebook, I go into Messenger, scroll back a couple of months, because it was April, I think, when I last communicated with him. Sent him a message. Hey, sir, need a blah, blah, blah axle. Mm-hmm. Happen to have one. He replies right away. Yes. Ho, ho, ho. The exact specifications we need. Then he said, actually, it's not mine, but it's my friend's. I'll get him in touch with you.
So this middle-aged man just has Jeep axles hanging around?
Apparently. I don't care.
You guys
I don't
are
care.
all alike.
I don't care where he gets them
You're
from.
all so freaking weird. It's stupid. Washing fenders in your hotels. Looking for axles.
Well, I mean, if I need one.
Why am I here?
What, am I just going to pray and have it, like, drop out of the sky?
Surprised you didn't just go buy steel and build one.
If I had the skill, I would be doing that. So there's a chance that tomorrow I'll be leaving my house at a very early hour. Earlier than I would normally.
Oh, my
or
God.
Earlier than I would drive to work in the morning for a morning radio show. Like by an hour. And driving to just outside of St. Louis, Missouri to pick up an axle to then turn around and drive all the way home.
Is that like 16 hours?
Round trip? Yeah, it's about a 7-hour drive. 7 hours there?
This guy willing to ship it?
7 hours back. I'm sure he would, but it would put it, it wouldn't be worth it.
What would make it worth your while? $200 to ship it?
$200 to ship it?
To ship it, yeah.
And then how much for the actual axle?
Well, whatever you're willing to pay.
Well,
for me, that's a side note.
No,
because in my mind, for the convenience, you'd be willing to pay to ship it if it was a reasonable.
Yeah.
It's
from what I've seen, I can get an axle shipped from New Jersey to here for about $150.
Okay.
So from St. Louis to here, it would be probably maybe half that. It would probably be $100.
Okay. Just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Taking your Jeep, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Do you need a trailer for that? Just the Jeep?
No, it'll fit. It'll fit in the back.
Just, give me a rough estimation about what type of gas mileage you get on that Jeep.
About 18 miles a gallon.
18 miles a gallon, you say?
Are you doing some math?
No, I'm just asking questions that have logical follow-ups.
Okay.
Is it 18? Yeah. Just another, again, I'm just spitball. You're doing the podcast. I'm just over here kind of Googling.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What do you think gas is going for?
About $3 a gallon. This may save me a trip to St. Louis, won't it?
You said that you think you could ship it here for about $150?
I think it would be about $100. But again, most people selling something that big are not willing to do it. So that may not even be an option.
But this is something that if you knew the address, you could do it. Like you could contact whether it be UPS or something, give them the pickup address.
It needs to be on a pallet, though.
Okay.
It's 5 feet long. It needs to be on a pallet.
You don't think Axle Man is going to have maybe some extra pallets by chance? Maybe.
I don't know.
What would you say if I told you estimated? One, it's 6 hours, 22 minutes to get there. That's directly to St. Louis.
Really? See, I had looked it up and because it was actually. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's west of St. Louis.
Oh, good. So further.
It's Union, Missouri.
Union
63084. Because I'm getting like 658.
That's not making it better. Well, if he met you in St. Louis, let me just say that. At average $3 a gallon.
Oh, I'm spending a lot, aren't I?
$146 on gas.
Oh, boy.
Add in where you're going, toll roads. I'm just saying. If this guy said,
probably a bad idea, isn't it?
In my mind, absolutely. Because here's my world. Now, granted, I may be a different soul than you. Maybe these extra few bucks are a difference maker on your guy's bottom line. If that guy told me I'll ship it for $250,
You're still doing it.
I'm doing it to save myself a 16-hour road day and the time, the actual driving.
Yeah.
But
See,
hey,
because for some reason, I always get myself in the mindset when I need something, I need instant gratification.
you want it now. I get it.
To me, it's worth a mild inconvenience, in this case, a major inconvenience, to have it in my possession tomorrow.
So you get back. Let's say you leave this town 2 a.m.
He said it's still in his vehicle right now. He's waking up tomorrow and removing it. He said it would be ready by noon.
Okay. So you get there at noon. Let's say it's in the back of your Jeep.
We got a 1 hour time difference, right?
Yeah. You get that thing in there. Your best case scenario, let's say you're home 7 p.m. You're ripping that axle out of the Jeep, working on the other Jeep.
Not a chance.
So you've got a few days worth of wiggle room. Is there other things you could do on this Jeep before the axle or without needing the axle?
No, we're kind of at a standstill.
So it sounds like Steve is driving 15 to 16 hours, very possibly costing himself money by doing so.
Boy, when you put it that way.
Could we do like a chain gang? Do we have anybody listening? Maybe you could reach out to your Twitter. Is anybody in St. Louis or Union that would be willing to drive 2 hours here, and then they could meet another person?
I'd go right through Springfield, Illinois, and Decatur, Illinois, which is
got some listeners.
A stronghold for the radio station, or for the radio show. So maybe I can get a listener to drive from Springfield to Union, and then Union back to Springfield. And then somebody could, let's see, what else we got here? Do I know? Maybe somebody knows somebody in, like Gary, Indiana. So if somebody could do the second leg of the trip from Springfield to Gary.
Yeah.
And then I'll just take a quick trip down to Gary tomorrow afternoon. That's
2 hours?
2.5 hours at the most.
So again, you just need somebody willing to drive round trip 5 hours from Springfield, Illinois to Union, Missouri.
Yeah.
Someone from Gary to drive to Springfield.
But hey, I mean, if one of the links in this chain is feeling a little froggy and they want to go an extra couple hundred miles.
Oh boy. Yeah.
I am perfectly fine with that.
Yeah. Now look at you making connections. Then you would just need somebody from Gary to drive the 3 hours and 200 miles to Springfield and then back to Gary.
Yeah.
Again, unless they're feeling froggy, like you said, and they want to carry it across the border for you.
Yeah, I mean, across the finish line, you
just have to drive to the local McDonald's because you're not letting them at your house.
No.
Transferring it to your Jeep,
giving
them a big thanks and enjoy the pond scum. And you're heading out of town, right?
I'm not giving them pond scum. They got to do a heck of a lot more to get the pond scum.
The chain gang idea, I'm surprised by the way that there's not an app for this. Pick up stuff if you're
is.
I think there is. I just don't know what it's called. Of like you can deliver things if you're like driving through that area. Like, hey, I'm going to be driving through.
Does it require like people paying people? Because I don't want to pay anyone anything.
Oh, so you want this app for free?
Yeah.
You would like?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of like hey, I just want to do some favors for someone.
You like the 900-mile trip.
You know something? That's a great idea. It could be. We'll make it obviously. By the way, just add this to the loose ends episode.
Sure.
Something we'll never do. So what you do? Everyone signs up for this app.
It's the dumbest thing.
It's called
Pay It Forward Without Paying.
It's called Pay It Forward. The app, the logo obviously is going to have like an arrow in it because it's moving forward.
Well, you're paying it forward, absolutely.
Yeah. So if I do a favor for you, now this is all transportation-based favors.
Yeah.
So basically like Uber.
Without the money.
But without the money.
Without passengers, so nothing like Uber?
Well, no. It could be.
Oh, you could do, okay.
Yeah, so say...
what a guy, you're letting him have passengers.
Say you need a ride. Or say you want to pick up an axle.
Yeah.
All right? But you don't want to actually go and get it. But I said, I got a couple hours to kill. I'll transport that axle 100 miles for you.
Yeah.
So I pick up the axle. I drive it 100 miles. based off of the mileage I travel, I achieve a score, a rating, or points.
Okay.
I can then use those points to trade for other people to do my shipments for me.
Okay. So, but you just need someone to have value with your points? I guess I'm confused in what...
Look, there's still some details that need to be worked out. All right? Great ideas don't just, they don't just happen like that.
Well, in my mind, your initial idea, so at least you're on like a point or merit-based system, because my initial thought was you thinking that people would just be like, yeah, I'll do this app and I'll just do things for free. They could drive for Uber and make money, but maybe they just like doing good. And instead of going and, paying for the person's Starbucks behind me, they want to drive 900 miles round trip with a front axle in their back end.
Yeah.
Okay. So pay it forward without paying. That's the idea.
But, I mean, not paying, like, with real money, but with, pay it points, we'll call them.
Double P.
Yeah.
Pay it points on this pay it forward system without money. Boy, there's a lot to unpack there. If someone could actually bullet point at us.
I need a flow chart.
Yeah, tell me, someone else with much more intelligence than us.
Here's the example that you need to flow chart for us. Steve wants an axle. Steve lives in Michigan. The axle is in Missouri. Go.
How can Steve get that without spending any money in addition to the axle while still making this somehow valuable to the person driving from Missouri to Michigan? Somebody figure that out. Give us a bullet point outline if you'd be willing to. Hashtag Steve's Scam. That's what we'll call it this week.
Scam? No, it's hashtag Pay It Forward.
Well, you know what? Use either hashtag, whichever one seems more appropriate to you.
Well, it's not a scam because I'm not
sure I'm not
making
trying
any
to
money.
get,
I'm not making any money off of it. Sure, I'm getting all your information and selling it to a third party, but
sure you're having people deliver you things at no cost of your own.
Well, I mean, they're just doing me a favor,
right?
Paying it forward.
Hashtag Steve's Scam, or hashtag Pay It Forward.
I think some of my ideas they could use a little more.
I think you're onto something.
Use a little more curating up in the old brain.
Yeah.
But
now, hear me out on this other one. Somebody would pick it up for a determined price and deliver it to you for said determined price and be done with it. Because, like Uber, presumably it would be less than your standard UPS or whatever big shipping company, right?
Yeah.
Would that not interest you?
I don't know. Then there's money involved and it's all complicated.
So we're back to hashtag Steve's Scam. Please use that when you outline that for us this week, or if you want to talk about Steve's ideas. A lot of apps, a lot of things floating around. The pay it forward without paying for pay it points.
I still think it's a seed.
You still think it's a good idea?
It's the seed.
Okay.
We're not looking at the full oak tree quite yet. That takes hundreds of years to grow.
You're like, oh God, you're like me with a piano. You're not getting talked off of this idiot ledge.
Well, you know something? When I'm a millionaire because of my Pay It Forward app, and you're still trying to tickle the ivories, you'll be drinking pond scum.
You've just admitted you're now targeting money in this scam.
Oh, yeah, no, but the money is for the information that I sell. The money has nothing to do with the app.
That is much,
We're going to have a
better.
very loosey-goosey privacy policy.
That is much better, and I appreciate that. Well, I really, I don't want to rush this, but I did have a time thing this evening because we're recording this much later than usual.
We are. So we'll just get right to it then.
Yeah.
Fast 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You want to go? Mm-hmm. All right, give it a whirl.
All right, LeBron James.
Oh boy, where's he going to end up? I've seen so many different, so many GIFs of him with every different team's uniform on.
Summer of LeBron. I'll come back to you with each team. I'm going to need you to hit the quick talking points where you think he's going to land.
I already have my. I have
the answer.
I have my prediction.
We'll come back to it.
Okay.
The Supreme Court.
That seems like there's a lot of weirdness going on there, right?
Very uncomfortable. The news following. Yeah. Odd.
Is it which Kennedy is it? Is it
Anthony Kennedy?
Anthony Kennedy. Okay.
Jameis Winston.
Oh, he's back. He was in your Fast Five a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Update.
Oh, I didn't hear the update.
You didn't?
No.
Ooh.
So, because it was a possibility that he was going to be suspended.
Correct.
Like 3 or 4 games, right?
Yep.
Beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Quarterback, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, known for trouble.
Okay.
The NES Classic.
I kind of want one.
Yeah, they restocked them.
Okay, because they were temporarily available last year. Oh, we'll get back to it. I'm sorry.
And lastly, the 4th of July.
Hey, go America, right? I mean, never been more proud to be an American than I am right now, this exact moment.
Now, you're not a firework guy?
Oh, I'm a fireworks guy.
Right, okay.
I like going to a professional fireworks display, you know? Like the downtown fireworks. I love it. It's great. What I hate is JoJo the idiot in the neighborhood who's like, I got a bottle rocket, and it's like, pew! And then manages 6 minutes later to duplicate it.
Yeah.
I got another one.
Yeah.
Pew!
Oh, I love
I like a good presentation.
Do you? Okay.
I don't like... what really baffles me is when the idiots light them off and it's still light out.
Yeah, it's wasting time.
Because all you're doing is proving your low IQ because you laugh at something that goes boom.
Yeah, and you can't really see.
No, you can't see anything.
Yeah.
Because
I love
it's summer.
a good firework.
Yeah, of course.
I love it. Love lighting them off.
Now, are you the idiot that I just described?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be out there.
Next time,
I'll be out there shooting.
Yeah.
There's a
Next
picture
time, just hold your hand real tight around them, light it, and blow your effing hand off. I'm sorry, was that...
No, that didn't
rude?
seem like it was over the top at all. I'm trying to find, there's a picture from last year that I'll have to post. Last year's 4th of July. And it is myself, my brother, about 15 feet apart, with...
Are you aiming them at each other?
Nothing but a Roman candle facing each other.
Oh, that's good. I'm
That
sure
was,
that the neighborhood loved that.
4th of July 1 year ago, where I could barely move my foot.
Boy, that I'm surprised that because your brother lives in the same neighborhood, the same basic vicinity that we do. I'm surprised that the old Informed page let that slide.
A lot of talk, a lot of hubbub on the Watchdog page
By the way,
now.
Have you heard about the side page, like the spin-off page?
I was a part of one spin-off page, and I had to stop because it was just nonsense.
There's now a venting page, which
so it's just meant for people to go complain?
Which is what the initial page is for in the first place.
My God. Before that, the NES Classic.
Yeah, they released that, maybe a year or 2 years ago? It's basically an
2 years
NES,
ago.
but scaled down, so it's much smaller.
Yep.
You just plug it into the HDMI port on your TV.
30 games.
30 games
pre-installed.
And how much is it? $100?
$60.
Oh, 60.
Yeah, re-released it, restocked them.
I wanted to get one when it first came out, but they were gone.
It was amazing seller.
As quickly as you could buy them, they were gone.
Yeah,
I would definitely be interested in buying one just for the nostalgia. And I figure at $60, even if I play it 5 times,
you're fine, right?
Yeah, it's not like I'm spending $400 for a PlayStation. Like what's the most recent?
The Nintendo for
Nintendo
Switch, 300. Yeah. They restocked them. I went on a whim. Bought one.
Nice.
Sitting at home, played some Kirby this morning.
Nice.
Some Punch Out.
Does it have Excite Bike?
Yes, it has Excite Bike.
I loved Excite Bike.
Now, I'm not the first one to say this or notice this. The only drawback to this thing, the cord for the controller.
Aren't they like 6 inches long or something?
It's 1 foot.
Why would they do that?
So you're sitting on the television to play. It's unbelievable.
Which should be very nostalgic because that's how I remember that. Like that's how I remember playing video games, sitting on the floor right in front of what seemed like a huge TV, but was probably, I think the biggest TV we ever had was 27 inches. Which now it's like that's like my computer monitor at work is 21 inches.
But we're older now, and craning my neck to look at the TV while I sit on the ground.
Now I'm assuming you can get wireless ones.
You can buy wireless. I forget how much they are. You can buy like extensions.
Extension cable.
Yep. So they restocked them. I believe they're mostly sold out again. But what a good business idea.
So I missed my shot again.
No, there might still be some in town. But what a good business idea. package those into one.
Feeding off of, because the people that played that back in the mid to late 80s, are now in their mid 30s now. And it's so easy to get somebody to spend $50 or $60
on something like
to get
that.
To get that nostalgia back.
Yep. For that, Jameis Winston.
Okay, I did not hear the update. Now he was there was like abuse allegations.
Yeah, allegedly groped an Uber driver in 2016 after being asked to leave a nightclub.
Okay.
A lot of weird stories around it. He denied it up until this week when he issued one of those non-apology apologies in a statement with the NFL that they had come to an agreement.
So was it like I'm sorry that this person...
Sorry she felt that way.
Okay.
And I shouldn't have put her... She shouldn't have been in that position. Whatever. 3-game suspension agreed on when the... years ago after the Ray Rice thing, their new policy was that first offense was 6-game suspension. And so Jameis Winston negotiates it down to 3 in an agreement so they don't have to go to an arbitrator or whatever. Now suspended. This is... not his first run-in with anything. Obviously, the big story is being accused of rape on the Florida State campus. He had the yelling profanities in the middle of the university as well. That was an issue. What was the other? He's had some issues. He's had run-ins. That's all we need to talk about. But yeah, now suspended for 3 games. A lot of people talking about it. Might be time for the Bucs just to cut bait and move on.
So he's what, third year?
Third or fourth year, yeah.
Fourth, okay.
Just a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't have your starting quarterback.
Although this did happen 2 years ago. Now, has he kept his nose clean since then?
By all intents and purposes, yeah.
Okay. At least we know of.
That would have been his second year in the league.
Okay.
Just seems to be a magnet for issues, though.
Yeah.
A real problem. Before that, the Supreme Court surprise retirement announcement, Anthony Kennedy stepping down the end of this month.
And now, did I hear something about there's going to be some big New York Times data drop of something that he's involved in?
Yeah.
So it seems
something where his family's tied to a Russian oligarch, something like that. It's a very weird timing that he retired right now when this news was about to come out or had just come out.
Okay.
But, he was a swing vote on the court. So a lot of people... now trying to figure out how this is going to go when the nomination for the next Supreme Court justice comes up this fall. It's going to be nasty.
Yeah, not good.
Absolutely nasty. Now, what had happened was under President Obama, the Republican Congress decided to stop the nomination of Merrick Garland because Obama was in the last year of his term.
When Scalia died.
Correct.
Was that 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
Yeah. So they said the American people need a voice in this. We're going to wait until our new Congress and president is seated. So now that may come back to bite them, as it sounds like the Democrats are going to try something very similar, seeing as it's midterm elections this year, and as well as the ongoing investigation by Robert Mueller. Yeah. It's going to be very, very bad this fall. If you're a member of Congress or if you follow politics, that's going to be a nasty fight.
USA.
Happy 4th of July, everybody.
USA.
America, go light off some bottle rockets at each other, huh?
Oh,
and before that, LeBron James.
LeBron James. It is the summer of LeBron.
Third time summer
Where
of LeBron.
is he going to go? Where is it? What is he going to... Is he going to stay loyal to the land? I think no.
Okay.
Because, well, I don't know. I feel like if he was going to stay there, he would have... It wouldn't... Like, there wouldn't be this summer of LeBron.
Maybe not.
He'd just say, no, I'm staying here.
But you can't fault him for wanting to hear what other teams have to say. So Cleveland might be top on the list.
So there's Cleveland. There, I've seen Philadelphia in the mix. I've seen, obviously, Los Angeles, the Lakers in the mix. Did I see Boston?
Boston's been bandied about a little bit, yeah.
Okay. Who else? What about the Washington Bullets?
Oh, you mean the Generals? Not mentioned in you was late breaking news this morning, Steve, making a big push to get a meeting with LeBron James and his team, the Denver Nuggets. What do you think?
Boy, well, no. The Nuggets are out.
Denver, the progressive city.
Yeah.
He opens up a couple of pot shops like Peyton Manning or pizza joints.
Yeah.
Do some steroids like Peyton Manning?
No, he's going to L.A. I got it right here. Got it right here.
Steve's breaking it.
Breaking news. I'm breaking all the sports.
He can't even sign until July 6th. Steve breaking it to you right now.
Breaking the sporting news. Live from Steve and Kyle Podcast Studios, APS 3.0, we have breaking news. LeBron James is signing with the Los Angeles Lakers.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're going to tell me that Cleveland's out. You're telling me Cleveland's out?
Cleveland's out, I'm sorry.
Now, much to your brother's dismay, you're going to tell me Philadelphia's out.
Philadelphia, also out.
What about Miami, the site of one of 2 or 3 championships with his friends Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh? Is Miami in or out?
I hate to tell you, Miami's out also.
Denver Nuggets, pot shops galore, up-and-coming young player in the front court, in or out?
Also out.
It's L.A. The Los Angeles Lakers, under the guidance of Magic Johnson, the world's worst Twitter follow.
Why is he so bad?
Oh, you'd have to read him. It's he's Mr. Congratulatory tweets, but by just recapping things. So it's, congrats to the Dodgers. You just won a Game 7. Good. I'm not kidding you. Irvin Magic Johnson is far and away the worst follow on Twitter. Offensively bad.
Okay. I'll have to not check that out.
So LeBron James to the Los Angeles Lakers, that's finalized. And that's my Fast Five.
All right, my Fast Five now.
Fast Five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, a couple of these are going to be repeats from you today, also from the past. First one, World Cup.
Knockout stage happening right now.
What's your huge prediction? You still on Bosnia? Still on board?
I mean, I'm always team Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Herzegovina, as I've said many times.
Herzegovina.
Don't know why you can't just say it the way that it's supposed to be said.
One more time, I'm sorry.
Herzegovina.
Herzegovina. Got it.
Okay.
I am Team Russia.
Russia.
Oh, everything's in the bag over there.
I've actually jumped ship. I'll tell you who I jumped ship to once we circle back around. Next, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Not getting very good reviews.
It's not. I thought they were very good. I'll still be there. I enjoyed the series, and I'm a Marvel fan, so I'll be there.
All right, next. You probably didn't hear about this. Boeing, the plane company.
No, I didn't hear anything. Oh, boy.
There is talks of a hypersonic passenger plane.
Nope, stop it. Just stop. Last time it tried, a lot of people died.
New York to London, 2 hours.
Yeah, you know what? Build me a train.
3,800 miles per hour.
Just build me a train that can get me here to the other side of my state in like a half hour. Stop it.
So you'd rather you're a train man, not a plane man?
Yeah, I feel like I'm much less likely to die on a train than a, how do you describe it? Hypersonic tube of sheet metal.
They had the Concorde, which was, I believe, supersonic.
And that went swimmingly.
Well, it didn't. It was fine.
A lot of people died and they stopped building it.
And the Concorde?
Yes, they don't make the Concorde anymore.
Well, I know they don't fly it anymore, but I don't think it was because people died.
Oh, there was some deaths on the Concorde.
Really?
Oh yeah, it had a maximum speed of over twice the speed of sound.
I didn't think one crashed.
Retired October of 2003.
I thought they retired it because it wasn't financially sustainable.
Let's see, the type was retired in 2003, 3 years after the crash of Air France Flight 4590, which all passengers and crews were killed.
Oh boy, that sounds like a lot of people died. Yeah. I didn't know a Concorde crashed.
July 25th, 2000, crashed in Nice, France after departing from Paris en route to John F. Kennedy Airport, killing all 100 passengers, 9 crew members, and 4 people on the ground.
Well, it's only 100 people.
Oh boy.
I mean, yeah, sorry to the families, but
that's the
grand scheme of things, that's not a lot of people.
That's your hill?
Yeah.
Gonna lay that. Okay. Dig out that bunker.
Next, LeBron James.
Summer LeBron 3.0. I'm pumped. I'll give you all of my thoughts coming up after the break.
Oh boy, what a tease. And then finally, Drake.
Yeah, new album, right?
Well, I mean, he's got a love child.
New album, right?
So it's been confirmed.
Really?
The kid is mine. Drake
who's
finally
stunned?
admits to fathering a love child on new album, Scorpion.
Who's stunned there? Yeah. By the way,
Nobody in here is right.
you might be looking at the only person on the planet thinks his music is horrendous. I hate it.
I mean, as you know, this the news was previously exposed by his rap rival.
Oh no,
Pusha T on the diss track, The Story of Adidon. So, what do you have to say about that?
Stunned, man. I can't believe it. I hope he's okay. You know, I worry about Drake.
Yeah, I mean, he's everyone's favorite Canadian.
Degrassi High graduate.
Yeah.
Drake,
Yeah.
man. Good music. Good use of protection.
What's his big hit?
Call Bling? Hotline
Hotline
Bling?
Bling, yeah.
Is that him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
It's a big hitter.
LeBron James. Summer of LeBron 3.0.
Summer LeBron.
Your huge prediction. Hold on. I need a drum roll, but of course, I closed it.
You got one for about an hour?
I do. No, I don't.
I thought we had one on the iPad.
Yeah.
Don't we have a soundboard app?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, there's no drum roll on there, though. I can give you
Can't
I can give you this.
If I can change, and you can change, everybody can change.
Los Angeles Lakers!
Really?
Yeah, I think...
finally, after 100 some episodes, we finally agree on something.
Yeah, I think the tea leaves are being are dropping in
Harvested?
Picked?
Yeah. Yeah, you probably pick a tea leaf.
Yeah, the tea leaves are being picked.
Pick a tea leaf, not leave.
in the reading Los Angeles by all intents and purposes. Now, I think second place is Philly. I think third place is Cleveland. Too many issues with the owner there, Dan Gilbert, over the years.
Yeah.
Dan Gilbert wrote that idiotic letter after he left the first time.
He was
now
Dan Gilbert made his money off Quicken Loans, right?
Yeah, which I believe is now like Rocket Mortgage that they're
Okay.
Partnered with. Yeah, a multi-billionaire bought the Cleveland Cavaliers, lucked into having LeBron James drafted to him.
So he got LeBron.
Yep.
LeBron left after, 5-6 seasons?
Yeah, something like that. His rookie contract. Yeah, went to Miami.
And Dan Gilbert basically said, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out.
We're going to win a title before that idiot does down in Miami.
Did not happen.
Nope.
LeBron won a title his first year, second year?
Second
because he was only
year,
there for 4 years. 4 years.
And they won, I want to say, 2 down there. Mm-hmm. And then he came back to Cleveland, mended fences.
Awkward.
Yeah. Somewhat mended fences.
Imagine that first meeting.
Yeah.
Like, hey, just doing it to get some publicity, right?
I'm willing to look past a lot, though, when someone's writing me a $31 million check.
And really, LeBron comes back. He's got nothing to prove to this guy.
He's a hero there, no matter what.
He's a hero because he's coming home. Wrote the I'm coming home letter. Comes back, wins a championship.
Yeah.
And now he's bigger than the guy who told him we're going to be better than you.
Yeah. He's probably bigger than any organization now. There's talk that he might be looking for an ownership stake wherever he goes next. Yeah, I think Cleveland's probably third. I think Philadelphia is the most up and coming, but by people that know basketball leaps and bounds more than me, like Brian Windhorst from ESPN. Seems to think that there's not a basketball fit for him there. He'd have to change his style too much. Which, if you're LeBron James, come on.
You're gonna retire. Yeah, a couple years from now, you're gonna be retired. You're not learning a new system. At this point.
and the team should fit around you and what you do. You're the best player in the universe. It shouldn't be the other way around. The only thing he might listen. Los Angeles isn't a good team. If he goes to the Lakers tomorrow, that team is substantially better. But the pieces around him are not that great. You have Lonzo Ball, who is a very young, good guard. Just trust me when I tell you, the Los Angeles Lakers are at best the 5th best team in the Western Conference. So do you go from being Cleveland, where you can make the finals, he could say any team in the East, pick any team in the Eastern Conference, Atlanta, Miami, Cleveland, he's in the finals every year. It's almost a guarantee. You go to the West, you're battling the Golden State Warriors, all those really, really good basketball teams. Does he want
Could
that
he go to Golden
competition?
State?
If he wanted to take a drastic pay cut.
So there's not even any talk. They're not even...
They're paying so much money to Curry, Durant, and their big three. There's no way he'd fit financially.
All right.
Ooh.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Got fired up. Sports
right?
Tate.
By the way, that's our spinoff, our Kyle spinoff podcast.
Yeah, just me.
Sports Tate.
Yeah, we were trying to think of a 1-800 number, and Steve said 8 kind of goes with take.
Yeah, because we want sports takes.
Yeah.
So 1-800-SPRT 8.
And then we ran out of digits. So that's where we're at. That's my hot sports tape.
Yeah.
We're on to L.A.
All right, LeBron going to L.A. Before that, we have Boeing. They're a hypersonic passenger plane. You want nothing to do with it.
Don't do it. I would never set foot on it. I never
will. New York to London, 2 hours. 5 times the speed of sound it'll fly.
Yeah.
3,800 miles per hour. Speeds exceeding 3,800 miles per hour.
Until it hits like a gnat that's a little too big and it just blows up one of their engines. And next thing you know, you're going into the ocean.
Yeah, but they just put like a shield over it or something. It'll be good.
Oh, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anywhere in the world in just 1 to 3 hours.
Neat.
Pretty crazy. You could wake up in the morning and say, I want to be in Australia by dinner time.
Yeah.
Hop on that plane.
Why don't we just we'll cut this soundbite out and play it when it inevitably happens. My condolence. Boy, I feel terrible for the families. I can't believe they all died.
But look how
they're gonna die.
I gotta put this thing up on the. Look at how sleek that is.
Yeah, it's called a spaceship. Like you shouldn't be able to see the Earth like that.
Oh yeah,
when
can
you're flying.
You see the curvature of the Earth.
Elon Musk,
man,
can't get a rocket to land on a boat that he has floating in the ocean.
He's got a very good return rate on that boat, on the rocket landing on the barge.
Is it enough that you'd ride it? Like you'd jump, like if that's a man mission, like you fit in that rocket and he says you're going to land on this boat in an hour, you jumping on that rocket, Steve? Is the rate that good?
Today?
Yeah.
Today, no. 2 years from now, I'm on that rocket.
Okay. Yep. Save this for later. Annette, I'm so sorry. I can't believe he died.
That's what you're going to say to my widow? That you're going to say, I'm sorry, I can't believe he died.
You know what? No, I wouldn't say that.
That's it.
You know, Annette, I'm so sorry.
I warned him.
I told him he was going to die.
I told him he's stupid.
Idiot did it anyway.
That'll make her feel much better.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Take that, piano snob.
You're going to say that to her?
No, now I'm saying that to her. Like, that's how I'll treat you.
Okay, I thought that... I was going to say, it would seem like a weird timing to insult her.
I say that now, warning her for when you die on Elon Musk's rocket. Like she's got
this is not Elon Musk. This is
she's got
Boeing.
The preemptive suck
this
it.
Is Boeing.
Would you pay 2 times the price of a normal flight to go on that? So you're going from here to L.A.
Here to L.A., so normally that takes, what, 6 hours, 7 hours?
Sure.
To get there in...
Let's call it 1.5?
Yeah, it would. Well, I mean, that here to L.A. is basically the same length of a flight that New York to London is, 6-7 hours. Twice the amount to get there in a third of the time.
Yeah. Non-stop, obviously.
Non-stop, yeah.
You're there by lunch, wake up, breakfast here, breakfast in bed,
yes.
Lunch in L.A.
I'm doing it.
Do it. My condolences to your family.
I am definitely doing it. Definitely doing
Hyperjet. Hydrojet. What's it called?
Definitely not a hydrojet.
Hypersonic boat. What's it called?
It's called a hypersonic passenger plane.
Yeah, neat. You know what I call it? A rocket.
Well, call it what you want. You can call it a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
If it gets me there fast, I'm taking it.
Last time something like that tried to travel like that, it was called the Challenger. Ask that lady teacher how it went. What was her name?
Krista McCullough.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Or as you called her,
something.
That lady teacher. You were thinking Sally Ride, weren't you?
Yes. What did she do?
She was also an astronaut.
Yeah, what one she kicked the bucket on?
Not sure.
Go jump on your hyperjet, though, Steve. They all seem safe.
Sally Ride. Sally Ride. Died.
Was that the not the Challenger? Was it the what was the other one? The more
Columbia?
recent Columbia.
Let's see. Scroll to the bottom for Wikipedia because that's where they put the death.
Oh no, maybe she didn't. 2012.
I don't think she did. She did not die on a rocket.
Yeah, 61. How about
In
that?
your face. In your face.
Oh, she served on the committees that investigated the Challenger and Columbia space shuttle disasters. Only person to participate in both. Well,
that's
seems
a
like
hell of an honor.
Seems like she didn't do too good on the Challenger one because the Columbia still happened. Should we really be
Ant-Man and the Wasp. Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Should we really be commending her?
Okay, so Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, the next Marvel movie.
I was
You're
wrong.
saying that
I was wrong. Rotten Tomatoes 89%.
That's what I had heard. Is that the reviews were coming in good, so that was a bit of a surprise to me.
I think that that must have been like a critic or a movie reviewer.
Oh, okay.
So like a Siskel or Ebert, whichever one still has his whole face.
Well, the heat just turned off of me for Sally Ride. I believe they're both passed.
Huh.
Ebert
Probably not doing
couldn't
many
speak
movie reviews
before he passed because of, I believe, a throat issue.
I think he had like half his jaw amputated.
Yes. Yeah. Or, as you referred to it, the one that had all of its face.
And the World Cup.
Still happening. My money's on Russia because they're the host country and they will blood dope and do whatever it takes, including murder, to make sure they win the World Cup. I think Russia wins.
Okay. I'm pulling up a World Cup bracket right now.
Yeah, who's actually left?
Let's see. It's loading the bracket. The 2018 World Cup
Now we're in the
bracket.
knockout stage, so we should be down to 16 teams, and actually by the games that have actually already been played today, I think we're down to even less than that.
So it looks like in the quarterfinals we got Uruguay and France.
Uruguay.
Uruguay. Thank you. Oh, sorry.
And France.
Oh. It looks like one of them still hasn't been decided.
Yep.
Russia and Croatia.
Yep.
And then how do I get to the other side of this bracket?
No, that's it. 16 teams left.
Oh, okay.
So it's just 8 matchups, go down to 4 matchups to 2 to the championship. So I saw Brazil was left, Mexico was left. I want to say like Sweden was left. Yep, Sweden, Switzerland,
Colombia, England.
Sweden, Switzerland. Is that like the battle of the nicest people on the planet?
Yeah, the battle of the blondes.
Yeah.
My money's on Uruguay.
You go to Uruguay.
I am.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, now that Bosnia has been eliminated.
Which, again, we don't know if they ever made it. From what I read today...
Easy enough to tell. No. No, they didn't.
From what I had read earlier about Uruguay.
Oh, wait, look. No, see, there is another side to this thing.
No, that's it.
Oh, boy, sure is. Sure is. I thought there was like a million teams in this thing.
The 64. But they knock out... Or 32... who knows? But they knock out half of them during pool play.
Oh, okay.
So
Bosnia may have been in there.
Yeah.
Now, again, that was the Bosnia fighting Bosnians.
Obviously need the nickname on your jersey. Just a caricature version, cartoonish version of a Bosnian.
Of just a guy.
With his fists up like an old Irishman.
Yeah, to put up your Duke's pose.
Yep.
All right. Uruguay 2018. I gotta stick with Uruguay. My brother-in-law is from Uruguay.
Okay.
And I'm a fan of him.
That's the guy who killed the lamb and brought him over for dinner on Easter?
Yeah. That was Alfredo.
I'm going with Russia. Yeah, they are
Russia.
they'll murder who needs to be murdered. They're winning that World Cup.
All right, so if we end up with a Uruguay-Russia final, oh boy, we are not going to live stream that.
I'm buying the kit. I think that's what they call it. Not a jersey, that you buy a kit.
Yeah.
Will be
lay down,
maybe a live episode.
Okay.
During that match, if they play.
All right.
It has to happen.
All right. Well, I am looking forward to that. I know you got to get out of here.
Oh, yeah, 20 minutes ago.
So let's just get this going. Hey, if you're listening to this before the 5th, GoFundMe.com/GetOurPodcast on a billboard. Greatly appreciate it. Thanks to anyone who is new and listening for the first time because of this, because of us hijacking the Free Beer and Hot Wings podcast feed for the week.
Yeah.
While the radio show's on vacation. If you enjoyed the show, you can download, subscribe, and review the show in iTunes, the Apple Podcast app, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, and Libsyn. SteveandKyle.com is the website if you want to find all of the old episodes. But again, just go to Google Play or iTunes. You can download every episode we've had going back over 2 years at this point. So thanks for listening. Got anything else?
No, you read all the social medias. Thanks for giving it a shot.
I didn't do the social media. Facebook.com/Stephen Kyle and at Stephen Kyle on Twitter.
Yeah, please follow us there. Find us there. Thanks for giving it a shot. If you still hate us, well, we appreciate that perseverance.
All right. Talk to you next week.